Hello everyone, it's Amy and welcome back for another Journaling on a Budget memory lane. So we worked on the tassel last week and I said I was going to add a few things after we got off the video, and so I did. Most everything that I added, I don't think anything is new. I didn't add any more fibers, but the things that I did add was I did tie a bow here at the top. And this is what it looks like. It's hard to show it from the side because everything wants to just keep falling off. But, so I did the bow, and because I just kind of wanted I wanted the paper clip to have a little bit more interest. I glued my knot that I had up here so that it would stay still. And I left some nice long tails on the bow to hang down. And I went ahead and wrapped through the paper clip at the top. Just some little bead dangles with chain, and this is actually just a part of a necklace that I got at a secondhand store. So I've added some beads and things, but they're all from torn apart jewelry. So we do have our dragonfly and our bead cap that we made here right on the front. And then we have all of the different things that we had added, our little bits of candy and our clear plastic bits. So, but what I did add, I have it a little bit tangled now. I need to stand it up and let it all fall down because I was trying to get it all to stay on the top. But I added inside here, I added a little angel to one of our fibers. So that's just a little bead angel. And that also just came off a piece of jewelry from that I tore apart that I got at a secondhand store. So those are all just beads that we had done. And so is that one. So, and then I added just this little like charm bead at the bottom. It has a, they're called eye pins. So it has, or not an eye pin. I forget what they're called. It's like a straight pin. It has a head at the bottom, and then it comes through, and then you can make it round. This came off of a necklace, but so I added that one on there. And then I added these clay bits. These are clay beads that someone made that was on a, like a cluster that was at the bottom of a necklace, like the focal point. And then I have some of these, which I thought kind of looked like jawbreakers or gumballs. And so I thought that those were really kind of cute. And I put those on the bottom. And they're very pretty. Now, these are acrylic beads. So that makes them not as heavy. And a lot of people think I don't want to use acrylic because that's plastic. No matter what it is that you're making, and especially things like dangles or something you're going to put a lot of something on, they are really a lot better, and they make them look so much nicer today than they used to. You know, they used to look very plasticky. Now you have to kind of click them together, feel them, feel their weight to tell what are they, because they make them look really nice. So I put those at the bottom, and then another one of the little flat pieces, another clay bead, and then I had this pretty This bead I think that I got in Happy Meal a long time ago. So that one is not off of used jewelry, but the rest of it is all just off of torn apart jewelry, and it hangs down nicely. I did decide I hooked the dragonfly right to the bead, the plastic bead, tube bead that we made here at the top. I just poked a hole in it and put a jump ring through there to hold the dragonfly right in the front. I decided I didn't want it at the bottom. I had all those other beads and everything at the bottom. And so I really thought, you know, I think I just want it to be right up there, front and center, right at the front of the dangle. So that is what it looks like. I think it turned out really nicely. And the thing is, take your time. You know, there's no rush through it. Just take your time to do whatever it is you feel like doing. If you don't feel like finishing it, go back to it later. And, you know, if you think it's finished and you go back to it later and go, oh, I think it needs a little something, add something to it. So I'm going to just set that aside so that when we get to the book, we can just leave it flat. So what I did was I do and don't know what we're going to do today. We're going to do some tags and things for the book. We're going to make some templates so that we can have journaling cards and tags and all of that type of thing that are neat and easy without punches. So I'm going to set the book aside. And then I just pulled out, I've got some of this Mamagami paper, a dictionary page that has been colored with the wax colors. And I've got this one that I did with the wax colors. I thought this was really might look nice in the candy page. I've got some of my handmade labels. This is a book. This is The Great Days of the Circus. This is the library pocket that came out of one of the books that we used. So I thought we could use that for a pocket. Oh, and I already have a template cut here. So, but we're going to do that so that if you haven't seen that before, I have some line stamp, background stamp, some papers that were sent to me in Happy Mail. And then, so I have those that I thought things that might go, look at the little balloon dogs could go in the circus. And here is a lion that could go in the circus. So, and some of the magazine pages from the Reminisce magazine. I thought for the toy store. I've got this this was an advertisement, Hear Better. So it was for hearing aids. We get a lot of those now that we're getting older. But I thought this was really pretty. It's got all the colorful birds. It's got a few deer here in the background. So I'm going to cut it off there, make it into a journaling card. And I thought that would go nicely with the page for the woods. So, and then this can be used as a tag. It can also be used as a line stamp. And here's another tag cut out of some corrugated cardboard. These are some stickers that I made. And I have some handmade brads here. And these are, we got these out of a magazine when we did one of the pages. And so I glued them down there so we could use those for tags. I had a little popcorn bag here. Some scrapbooking paper, and one of the little things that I made when I was doing the collage for the front page. So literally just, I have another one here, a letter from Leanne, and it has this Ringling Brothers stamp on it. I'm not going to rip that up yet. It's got my address on it, but we can cover that up. And then these are just some of the things that came out of the book, and as they came out of the book, because they were extras on a page that we had already used, I went ahead and I just backed them with some coffee dyed or tea dyed paper. So, oh, and I did get some of the Tim Holtz paper dolls. So I've always seen people use them. I think they're really cute. You know, but I've never actually went out to buy them. But I picked out some to go with some of our pages, and I got a really good deal on them. So I picked up a couple packets. I think I'm going to put them in a Market Monday, hopefully maybe next Monday or otherwise the Monday after that. I've got it partway put together. But, and a few of you have asked about Market Mondays. If you don't know what that is, Market Mondays is Monday is the only day that I sell things. I don't like to, really, I shouldn't even be, saying that I'm going to put these in a Market Monday. I don't like to do that kind of thing because I know that my channel is a budget channel. But I do have things that people like to pick up. And if I get a really good deal, then I try to put together packets so that everybody can have some. The problem is that with shipping, because the shipping is included, they used to be $20, and I now have to double check on the shipping. Because if it's gone up over $10, because it was right at $10, I think I'm going to have to charge $25 for it. So that is not necessarily cheap. That's not, necessarily budget crafting. But then again, what I try and do is, instead of everybody going out and buying a packet of paper dolls and, big packets of everything, because I tend to go to garage sales, yard sales, and I buy these large packets of things. Well, I'm never going to use all of it in my lifetime, and really, that's the cheapest way to get them. So if we split them up and kind of share them around without the shipping, it wouldn't be bad. With the shipping, that makes it not necessarily a great bargain, and yet I try and give you a good variety. So, but anyways, I did get some. I was kind of excited because I think that they are really cute. I just really like the looks of those little people, so I was happy to get them. So I thought that we would put some of those in there, and then some dictionary page and some more scrapbooking paper that will go with some of our different parts in the book. So I think we're just going to make tags and stuff. One thing I wanted to tell everyone, well, I should really tell this on the budget crafting, but if you saw the Mamagami paper with the wax colors, this piece here, this is Mamagami paper, so it has been crunched and crunched and crunched, and it's very, very soft. And I put the wax color on it, which I have done before, and, and it works out really well. It doesn't actually soak through. So, but this one, because it doesn't soak through, I put the wax colors on both sides, and it just doesn't want to dry. So it's still it's dry kind of now, but to me it still feels a little waxy, and it's making my hands shine and stuff. So I would not color it on both sides, because if you color it on both sides, it's gonna very possibly, it might leave color. Well, it's not leaving color on there, but it could, because it doesn't feel as dry as all the others that I have done. So I just kind of wanted to give you a heads up on that, and I'll put that with the budget crafting stuff to tell everybody there too. So we have all of this stuff to play with, and the first thing we'll do is we'll make templates. And templates are not hard to make at all. And so I will just kind of scooch all of this over to the side, because we'll make templates for some tags and templates for journaling cards and everything. And then we'll make a few, and then I'll go off and, maybe I'll make some more to get into the journal. But so the first thing that I do is I want to make my journaling cards, my templates, out of something that is sturdy. So I just use any kind of packaging that is nice and sturdy. I'm going to cut this down till it will, I think that'll fit in there. And then open it up. Right here. Because this it will last a really long time. And this one, the packaging is getting a little thinner all the time, but it still works better than like cardstock or something like that. So what I'm going to do is I want to make sure I have a straight line. And so I am going to, I am going to pretty much guess that these two flaps are straight with each other. So I'm going to put those up to the top, and hopefully that will, not sure, what do I have here? Okay, that's a scoring tool. This is a cutting tool. I'm just going to, and because it's kind of hard, I'm going to start not quite at the edge. I'll start up here. I'm not going to go all the way to the top. I'm going to start kind of in the middle, and then go down, and then go back. Because that way, it's just easier sometimes for these type of blades. They have to push through instead of rolling across. It's easier if you push them through somewhere. And so that looks really straight because there is a fold line right here, and that is what I've got left is straight. But since I don't want that score line on there, what I'm going to do, I have a nice straight line. So basically, I just need to get a couple of straight rectangle pieces of cardboard. And so I've got that straight line now, so I'm going to put it at the top. And my cut line is over there, so I'm just going to cut through that. Not sure about that, thing's in my way. I'll pull it down here. Now I've probably messed it up because I don't know where the line is. I'm going to move it over. I move my lamp back just a little bit. Okay. I'm going to kind of start in the middle. Not in the middle, really, just not on the very edge. There we go. Get that off of there. Now we have a nice straight edge here. So now I will cut off that. We've got this little fold here, and we don't want that. We want something that's sturdy. So we'll cut that off. And we have a straight edge here, so now we can line it up at the bottom of our trimmer and make sure that we wind up with basically 90-degree angles. Not really sure. I believe that's right. Alrighty, so let's see here. I've cut this side, so now I know I have a straight line here. So I'm just going to, and the thing is, this does not have to be, we're going to try cutting from that end. Did pretty good because my blade's very sharp, so, but I just wanted to give you that other tip because it does help, especially if your blade's getting dull. So we're going to do a few of these, and they don't have to be the size of your normal tag. Some of them you might want to be the size of your normal tag if you're going to do a decorative score, or I mean a decorative top, which I'm going to show you how to do one of those. So now this is not straight, so I need to make sure that I get that straight so I don't forget. And is this one straight on every side? Looks like this is the one that was, I didn't cut. So let's cut that. And like I said, they don't have to be any certain size. This one is 3 3/4 wide. This one is 3.5 inches wide. Okay. So the width is what you're going to worry about. But like I said, it doesn't have to be that way. So now in order to make a tag, or yes, a tag with your standard corners on it, you just go ahead and you cut off one corner, hold on to it. Well, you don't have to hold on to it, just don't lose it. And then you're going to turn it over so it will be a mirror image. And you're going to line that right up really well. And you're going to stay right next to it so that both of those wind up being the same. And so now you have a regular standard size. Now, if you have a tag that is, let's say your tag is this wide, you can still use this. You just line up the top in the corner and cut it off, and then just slide it over and line up the top in the corner and cut it off. Now, with these are pretty easy. You can just always cut it, flip it, and cut it. But, you know, we want to have like a journaling card too. Journaling cards have nice rounded edges. So we'll just take something and put it on our tag. And then we'll just line it up and draw around it. And then do the same thing on the other side. Line it up with the side, line it up with the top. Whoops. And then draw around it. And so then you're just going to follow those. And if you have a tag that you like the shape of, you can just trace it. And so that way you will always have that template. So this is easier to trace around whenever you want to. And again, this is smaller than this. So we could just take it here and trace it there, put it over here and trace it there. And then you just have to cut it. So it's really nice to have a template. And so that's two. But then you can also make yourself fancy tags. And this is where you really want to have a template. And let's see, I've got my compass here. All right, I'm going to move this scoreboard, or this cutter. And so what I'm going to do is I am going to, let me see here. How wide was this again? Because I do want the center point of this. And because this is a template, I do want to do measurements and that type of thing. Okay, so it's 3 3/4. So I need to do 1.5 is 3, and then 1/4 of an inch is 3.5, and then 1/8 of an inch. So I need 1 7/8 is the center. And I'm going to move that down a little bit. Okay, 1 7/8 is the center right there. And then I usually just move it over and line it up and just make sure, yep, 1 7/8 on that side also. Okay, So to make kind of a fancy top, you can just go ahead and use your compass, go out to the edge of your tag, start at the edge of your tag, and just go around. Oops. And then, I don't like that, so I'm going to do the other end because I want to have space above it. So I'm just going to start right up here. Am I in the center? Yes. Okay, so that's going to start there. And I know this is hard to see. I'll show you in just a second because I know it's hard to see. All right, so I'm going to cut this off because that's going to, yeah, that's going to bother me. Well, we're just going to leave it. Okay, so now we have a rounded top. Now you could leave it like, oh, I can leave this one. I can make this one a rounded top. Now this one you would need, in order to use this template, you would need to make your tag 3 3/4 inches wide. Or you could just center this if your tag is a little bit smaller than that and draw around it. So now we have this shape that we can make a tag out of, which those are really cute tags. And then we could take, we need our center point, which is 1 7/8. It's right there. And 1 7/8. Okay, so now we're going to put a decorative bump here. And so you can just take, you know, like your glue bottle. This glue bottle actually has a line across the bottom. Hopefully it's in the center. I'm just going to kind of, I am going to take a marker, if my marker works. And because that's got a line in it, because when you're making a template, you want to take your time, because that template can last you forever. So, you know, it's, if you need to make a tag quick, you make a tag quick. I'm not going to worry about this. It's not working. Okay. But just, you know, kind of eyeball it, I guess. Wonder. Maybe I'll just use the compass. I'm going to make it smaller. Put my compass in the center. Whoops, I lost it. Okay. So now it looks like this. And so now we're going to have this with this with this. And then you can have a smaller bump, a higher bump, however you want to do that, depending on what you trace around. But this is just kind of another fun shape for the top of a tag. And so there you go. The top of that tag is going to look like that. It won't have all this stuff on it, and that will be the top of the tag. The bottom of the tag will just be a rectangle. So this is one template, this is another, this is another, and this is another, and the sky's the limit. You can, you know, you can make templates, you can make them in so many different ways. If you want something that just has a little tiny rounded corner, you can just make a little tiny rounded corner. And you can eyeball it, or you can draw around even like the end of an unsharpened pencil. You know, you can stick that right up there. You know, that would be nice and really small to draw around. But if you get it to where you think it looks good, where they look pretty even, then you don't have to have something to draw around. So there we go. You might even want to make it so that, you know, I don't know, you might want to make one that has a bit of a shape to it. Of course, that one would need to be done better. But, and then you could do it at the top of your tag and at the bottom of your tag so that it would match. Except I would do it at the top like this and then flip it over and do it at the bottom like this if you're doing some kind of a shape. But so there we go. That's templates. And you can make any kind of templates to make any kind of tags. So let's just kind of play with what we have now. So I thought that the one thing I kind of wanted to do was I wanted to make a tag, and trying to think of what I want to back it on. So, but I thought I want to use these ones. And I thought this little girl would work for the toy store and this little girl. So I thought they might look cute for a tag for the toy store. And then I thought that these two, I'm not sure where this guy came from. I thought maybe like train riders for the train page. And, excuse me. And here's like a conductor for the train. And these two, I want to put this husband and wife, and where's the little boy that's ready to go? And this little boy, so there are farmers that are getting all dressed up to go to the circus. So they're going to go on the farm page. But I wanted to show you something that I was thinking of doing with this, because he has his arm, you know, kind of crooked right there. And, you know, she has her hand like this. So what I want to do is I want to cut around her hand so that I can put her hand over his arm like this. And then I'm going to have to shorten her dress a little bit, I think, because otherwise it will look like he's floating, which is something you always have to look at things like that. When you put something on your tags, depending on what they are, you don't want them just floating in midair. So, but I thought that I would just go around her hand. Hopefully I won't ruin her too much. And then that part of her is going to be behind him. So, you know, I don't have to worry too much about like her dress or whatever there. Okay, let's see if it's going to work. And there we go. She has now got her hand through his arm. And I am going to get a pair of, I have little trimmy scissors, and I'm going to trim around her hand better to get rid of this white part here and kind of give her some knuckles. And so then the other thing is I am going to need to, nicely she has like a checked dress, so I am going to follow that line on the dress. There. So now when you put them on something, they'll be standing on the ground and they'll both be standing at the same level. So that's what we're going to do with them. And then we're just going to put them on a tag. And I'm going to stop messing with that because I don't want to mess her hand all up. And we're going to put them on a tag and put them in on our farm page. So that's one thing that we're going to do. Or that I'm actually going to do that one later because, you know, these take so long. And then I thought, oh, and this is their little boy that's going with them to the circus. So we're going to put them there because they got all dressed up to go. I thought that this is just a coin envelope. Basically, you just take a piece of paper and fold it to the center like this. You can have it any width you want, any height you want. You just do it like that. And then glue the center. No, don't glue it until you fold it. Okay, so with the coin envelopes, you just fold up the bottom a little bit. And then you only want this top piece left. So we are going to cut off this little bit on both sides. So if you go just above your line, and then just kind of line up with right where the corner is when you get there, and then just inside your line, this is the part that you're keeping, come just to the inside. It gives you just a little bit of an angle there, and everything doesn't get all bunched up. So just a little bit of an angle here, and even a little less of an angle here, just above the line until you get right to the corner. Come down and meet it. So now it looks like this. So we just cut off the little flaps on both sides, and we're going to do the same thing to the top. So you just fold the top down a bit. Just like that. And then we're going to do the same thing. We're going to cut off those two flaps because we only want this middle section. So just below the line and right up to the corner. And then we're going to do the same thing on this side, just barely below the line. And up to that corner point where the four folds meet, or two folds meet. Okay, and then usually with the coin envelope, they have like a, you know, thing like that. Like we used to get these in school, and they were either like that or sometimes they were just rounded. So I think they were more rounded than. Okay, so I'm just going to cut this one basically straight down. And I'm going to make those edges rounded. So I'm just going to put this up here. Just going to line that up there. And put it up a little closer to the top. I know you can't see my paper. It's like if I do like colored stuff behind, I have a lot of people say it's too busy behind, and then when I do the white, a lot of times it's like it's hard to see what I'm doing. All right, so I kind of messed it up there, but that's what we're going to do. Let me mess it up there a little bit because there's a little bit of a burr on there. Oh, and you know what else? In thinking about how to make your actual templates, when, you know, I was saying put the round thing over here and the round thing over here, cut it on a piece of regular paper, cut one roundness, put it on there, then flip it over, put it to the other side and cut it over there, and then they'll be the same also instead of trying to draw around something. So, and then just, you know, use that to trace onto your cardboard to cut your actual template. So there we go. Now, that's how you make a coin envelope. And then you just glue the middle together, making sure that you don't glue it down to what's behind it. So I'm going to put some glue right along this edge. Excuse me, here comes the tickle. And then we're going to do that. We're going to glue the bottom. Just like that. I do apologize. So there we go. Now, when I was younger, coin envelopes were only about this wide. maybe just a little bit taller. But this is the shape. You can make them any way that you want to because it's your stuff. So there we go. So I thought this would be cute to put our little girl and boy on that are waiting outside the school on the bench. Because when I was a kid, you had these envelopes like this. And this is what you took your lunch money to school in. So, I thought we're just going to put this in our school section. Plus, you have music at school. And I just want to do a little bit of a bench there. I'm not sure what I never thought really to bring much in the way of colors. To color things. Oh, I do have my ink pads here. So I think I'm going to I'm just going to draw a little bench right across there. So I'm going to go a little higher than where I think they're going to sit. And we have to have a couple of legs. So I apologize. I'm trying to keep my voice up, and I do notice I keep getting quiet, so I apologize about that. And I definitely am doing my best to work on it. Now, I'm not a great artist. I'm not a great drawer. So this obviously is not going to be a perfect bench, but I know what it is. And it will kind of have the idea of what I want it to be. So I've got the kind of the flat front of the bench right there. And I'll try and make a straight line here. For some reason, it is not letting me make a straight line there. I mean, that's right where my corner is, but still even trying. Now, that's right where my bottom folds up. There. Okay, so there is our bench. And we do want it to have a little bit of color besides the little wood grain on there. So I'm going to just use a little bit of, I like tea dye. Just going to kind of put a little bit of brown color on our bench. Now, when you're doing something like this, you know, because when I come on here, I only have so much time to show you what I'm thinking. And I try and give you ideas on like how to make pockets or envelopes and, you know, how to make templates for your tags and that type of thing. So I don't have a ton of time to actually like finish all of these things. But, you know, you can, like I said, even with the tassel, you make it, you sit, you think, what else do I want to do? I mean, I could come across here and maybe get some lettering and put lunch money at the top. That might be really kind of cute. But they're going to go on there just like that. And so at least they're not just floating there next to each other. And then maybe we will put lunch money here and put some colors in the background. Maybe some bricks. Bricks would be really cool. Yeah, red bricks. Kind of a maroon brick. I don't have any maroon ink. So that's something for me to think about. Bricks on there. I'll have to look and see. Maybe I have a brick stencil. I think I might have cut a brick stencil. So we're going to do this for, okay, so I showed you what we're going to do for our farmers, and that's what we're going to do for the school. We do have some here for the railroad. And so, oh look, there's a little girl and a little boy sitting on a bench waiting for the train. That's kind of cute. So I don't know what we're going to use that for. So now we've got, these were the tags when we made our boxes that we didn't use, or the paper, but we don't need that. I don't think I want to do anything with this right now. But I think that I want to cut out a few of these. Like, we definitely need some journaling cards for our fashion store. So we can cut this out for that. What's the back look like? Oh, the back is nice for a journaling card. If your back is too busy, just glue it to some white paper, coffee dyed paper, tea dyed paper, and then let's use our template too. And if you have a corner rounder, that's great. I like corner rounders. I do suggest those as, you know, if you're going to buy a punch, that's a good one. A 1-inch circle or a 1.5-inch circle. Really, I tend to like the 1.5 better than the 1 inch. That's also a really good punch. I have lots and lots of punches, but you know, I don't use them that often. So I think that we just kind of tend to collect instead of use. And so especially if you're just starting out, just know you may not have as much as everybody else right now, but if you enjoy crafting, before you know it, you'll be saying, where am I going to put all of this stuff? So there we go. Now that's a nice journaling card. And I just don't like, and this corner did not get rounded very well. I don't like the straight corners. Now a lot of people really do. And so if you just like it to be a rectangle, you don't have to round the corners. There's no rule that says they need to be rounded or that they need to be angled or anything else. So just like I like this shape here. All right, so there is something for our yeah, I can't even think of it. This is a lawnmower for the farm. Farm needs a lawnmower, that's for sure. We live in Amish country, so we still see them using these lawnmowers all the time. I can't get over far enough. There we go. So, and there's lots of bits for collage. Like this would make a really nice little collage bit. The Carriage and Harness Company. That would be another good one. And we may not use all of these. We may not need to. But it's good to get them all kind of ready and kind of with their pages, and then we can always decide later what we want to keep. And I'll keep this, but I don't think I have a place that I want to put it. But we've got a couple things for the farm. Got a mower and a harness. And what do we have here? Perfect preserves. That could go for the farm. And nope, that's not going to work for something that is like this, that is already has all the information that you actually want. I'm going to leave this bottom part on here and set that aside. And the typewriter and a typewriter. Okay, so that's all that we want to take off of there. Now, these ones I thought would make really cute kind of journaling type cards. A little bit like a tea card, except bigger. And tea cards were they were cards that you got when you bought tea, and everybody collected them like baseball cards. And they're fun to make also. But these would look nice as a grouping together in a pocket. And I believe that we did these for the lake page because there's the lake in the background. And you could also use your trimmer to cut them with. They'll probably wind up a whole lot straighter. And the one thing about templates or having a corner rounder is time. It is faster to use a corner rounder if you have one, but you don't have to have one to do what you want to do. So I am going to use the corner rounder because there's 3 of these, but I just thought these would be really cute. And I'm going to use this medium. Okay, and this is Becky Higgins. That's all it says on it. So I get asked quite often what it is, because it has 3 different sizes. There are a lot of them out there that do have 3 different sizes. And I will tell you that I went to the craft store, to the craft outlet, and they had a corner rounder on sale. And so I do have to say I picked it up. That's how much I like corner rounders. They are one of my favorite punches. So there we go. Now we have these 3 really cute tags, and they can be edged, but I'm not sure in what color, tea dyed or blue. So we're going to set those aside. And what you also could do with those is you could poke a hole right in the middle at the top, and they would open up like this. Although they're so pretty, I really don't want to take away from it. Could do it at the bottom. They're not exactly the same size because I just cut out the pictures just as they were. So I don't think I'm going to do that, but that is something you could do. Put a brad in them and make it so that they open up like this, like a fan. So that's kind of fun. We'll have to maybe do something like that too. Now, the stickers I got out just in case we needed to put stickers on something. This one I really want to put in the toy store because, you know, games are very important to me. Look, 1962. That's the year I was born. So I'm going to make something with for the toy store with that, but I haven't decided what yet. So I'm going to leave that as it is. And so this video is getting really long. And we really haven't got real far. So maybe I'll come back next week and I will have everything kind of planned out, make sure that I have all different colors and everything, and we will really make more. And I won't have to show you how to make a template or that type of thing. And these say designer brads on them. This was something that I got in a D-stash. These brads are actually just store-bought brads from Walmart. Or also the office supply store. You can get them in the office supply department at Walmart. And then I just paint them with fingernail polish. So you don't have to buy fancy brads. They're very expensive. Something like this could cost you like $5 if it was the designer brand of whatever this was. I kept it just because I liked the fact that it had the holes and everything in it already for me. But yeah, I made all of these different colors. And, you know, it cost me basically nothing. I mean, fingernail polish is one of my go-to paints, especially for metal. And so I always have different colors here, and I can make it to match whatever I want, whatever project I'm working on. So remember, you don't have to buy brads. Well, you do have to buy these brads, and look around, check and find them cheaply, because some places like to charge a lot just for those, but you'll get maybe like 100 or 200 for the price of 12. So, and then you can make them any way you want. And we'll be doing that in the crafting series here shortly. But since I'm going to come back and we're going to actually make all of our tags, so today winds up more being, and I'll put it in the description, today's more of a construction type part of making our tags, and then decorating the tags and deciding where to put them, we will do next week. But I did want to show you, so we have these different type templates, and I don't want to use that. I want to show you how to make a library pocket too, because these are also very, very easy, and they're fun. It's a really fun pocket to use in your journals. So you just need a piece of paper. We're just going to use this one. I'm going to use the scoreboard for it. I'm going to butt it up against the bottom down here to make sure that I'm straight, because that is the only straight line I have left. And I'm just going to trim it straight. There we go. Now I know that that side is straight, so I'm going to put that butted up against the bottom. Trim it off there. Straight. Now I know this is straight, so I can turn that and butt it up against the bottom. Trim off this last side, and I will have a rectangle. Okay, so you want it to be approximately an inch bigger than however wide you want your library pocket. So this one's going to be about the right size, because what we're going to do is we're going to fold over two sides of it. So we're just going to, let me see, I'm trying to figure out what I want to be. Maybe we'll do it like this. So then what you're going to do is you're just going to fold up a pocket, just like that. And they're not usually super deep. The pocket is always like about 1/3 of a size, and then 2/3 of your paper is above. And we're going to round these top corners. Again, you can use your template. And then the only thing that we need to, oops, I did that wrong. We need to cut this a little bit thinner. And I'm not going to try and use the trimmer to do that. So what we're going to do is, where's my ruler? All right. We are going to come in 1/2 inch from the edge. And 1/2 inch from the edge. On both sides. And then we're going to cut that off. So just the top portion of our library pocket. So there we go. We are going to cut off, and I should not have rounded the corners. It's not going to make a difference. We'll round them again. But so you're going to cut off about 1/2 inch of your top above the fold. Above the fold. That's how they used to talk about newspapers. If the article was above the fold, it was important. There we go. And then where the fold is here, I'm going to come just above the fold and cut down at a little bit of an angle. You don't do much. Can you see that just a little bit? That just keeps things from binding or sticking out the bottom. So when we fold this over and fold this, we're going to fold this back now. So we're just going to fold that right over there, come over here, fold this right over here, and there we go. That is a library pocket. Now to me it's just a little bit too tall up there, so I'm going to trim off just a little bit. And we don't have measurements here. That looks a little better to me. Because there is no right measurement. You can do it so you can do it with any size paper you have. All right, I just want to see. We've got 3 3/4 here and 2 1/4 there. So this is a little more than 1/3 on this particular pocket. And then I am just going to round those corners. And then we're just going to glue it down here on the back. And because this is, it's heavy cardstock and it's really quite heavy, I'm going to use wet glue. And there we go. Now we have our library pocket. And you even can draw in. You can draw in lines if you want to, like the due dates. And this is wound up being a little bit smaller, but not much smaller than this. And so it's just fun. They're just fun. It's another nice, fun, and super easy pocket to make. And you can tuck it in or you can glue it in. You could glue it into the front of your journal and use it to keep things in. But so that is another really fun pocket to make. So I think we're going to call it quits for now. Ooh, because I'm really running out of time. So we made a library pocket. We made templates of whatever kind we wanted to have. And we made we're going to work with our people next week, but we did the little tiny tag cards. And we did this. So that's just kind of what we did for this week. And we'll decorate it all up and put it in the book next week. And I'll be more prepared because I'll have each one really figured out. So thank you very much for stopping by. I really do appreciate each and every one of you. And I hope that you all have an outstanding day. Bye-bye.